Hello everyone, Cyber here, bringing you guys the next part of What If Deku Had the Omnitrix? Well, more accurately, a redo of the last part I did on the channel. I felt like that was too long and it didn't really get the numbers I was expecting. Yes, it was nearly 2 hours, which most YouTube what ifs are nowadays sometimes, or at least short 30 minutes. However, this is more detailed considerably, so I wanted to short it down. I took out some of the less important bits, but kept in the parts where Todoroki and Deku talked. Like in the last video. That seems like the most important bits, you will see that. Brief mentions of each of the fights. Mostly of Deku's fights being the most detailed, while the others are just passing notes and such. Other than that, there's also nothing insignificant that would be important. I removed certain other dialogue bits here and there that didn't seem important, some other stuff. Either way, I'm jabbering on. Sorry about that. You also might hear an echo because I left my bathroom door open, so sorry if there's an echo. I've also got a big jug of water here so I can, keep my throat hydrated so I don't strain my voice and rush through certain lines. I would try to do this all with a editing software, but I have yet to find anything like that that's good and easy to use in my opinion. Also just, I don't see why, per se, I need one. I mean, I know why. Anyways, I'm blabbering on, I'm sorry. Depending on when this comes out, Merry Christmas or Christmas Eve. No time zones is a bitch to understand sometimes, so, but, just those who are like a day ahead of me, technically. Or behind, I don't know. Depending on how fast this video uploads. This is not the Christmas story I wanted to do, but at the same time we had nothing really planned. This year has kind of been a struggle, I guess. I will make a video about this later down the line. Explaining all this and why, maybe showing some future projects in mind. Coming, so I will get to that. But for now, let's just begin this, and in a future video, like before the end of the year, I will record a video explaining my thought processes of the year, what I want to improve, what I think is okay, what I want to do more so you all know what I'm thinking. And without further ado, let's begin. We begin with Izuku Midoriya and Shota Todoroki standing at opposite sides of a tunnel. Both are being quiet. For Deku, he's being quiet because he was nervous. He thought he could talk to Todoroki as Diamond Head, but as some kind of sick joke, the Omnitrix timed out, taking him out of his transformation along with his confidence. While the other just stares daggers at the Omnitrix wielder. Deku tries to seal himself as he asks his question. You wanted to talk, right? Todoroki doesn't say anything, only just for a moment, making the uncomfortable silence unbearable till he finally spoke. I was overwhelmed, so much so that I broke my pledge. Deku's eyes drifted to Todoroki's left side. He recalls that part of Todoroki's quirk is called half hot, half cold. So one side produces ice while the other fire. Todoroki pockets his left hand as he continues. Your power is nothing that should exist, yet it does. What are you saying, Todoroki? Deku, now nervous, Todoroki might have learned his secret, says somehow, as Todoroki looks up at him and asks, Midoriya, so tell me, Why were you created? What? Deku stands there, blushing profusely, not expecting the conversation going down this route. Does he really not know? Doesn't UA offer a health class? Shouldn't he ask his parents about this? Uh, well, Todoroki, when a mommy and a daddy loves each other, so they have relationships, and well, Todoroki's eyebrows furrow an annoyance with his classmates not understanding. You misunderstand me, Midoriya. What I mean is, was there a purpose behind it? What? What are you getting at, Todoroki? Deku looks at Todoroki with confusion, as Todoroki sighs and ponders how to explain this to him. My father is the hero Endeavor. Huh? The number 2 hero? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me you're aware of him, considering everyone is. Not to mention your expertise knowledge on heroes and quirks alike. So, just talking about the man makes Todoroki sick to his stomach as he continues. My old man is ambitious. He aims for the top, using his power to make a name for himself as a hero. But he was never able to beat All Might. So the symbol of peace is a living proof of his failure. He's still at it though, trying to take down All Might one way or another. Sorry, but I'm not sure what you're getting at. Have you ever heard of a quirk marriage? Deku goes stiff. He knows what they are. Of course, they've been outlawed for a reason. They became a problem in the first few generations after superpowers came widespread. Those who sought out potential mates solely with the intent of creating powerful children. Many people were forced into relationships. They were simply viewed as old-fashioned arranged marriages, but clearly it was unethical. My father was not only has a rich history of accomplishments, but plenty of money to throw at his problems. He bought my mother's relatives to get his hands on her quirk, and he's using me to upset All Might. This hits the omnitrix really like a truck. To hear yet another top-ranking hero is not what he seems to be. Just like All Might. It's so annoying. I refuse to be a tool for that scumbag. Even though he said too much, he can't stop himself as he continues to tell his story. In every memory of my mom, I only see her cry. He can still hear her agony and fearful sobs as he puts his hand over his burnt scar. I remember she called my left side unbearable before she poured boiling water on my face. Deku gasped in shock at the horrible action. Just what kind of horrors did their classmate have to go through? Not only that, how could his own mother do the thing? He can't even picture his own mother doing such an action. The reason I picked a fight with you was to show my old man what I was capable of doing without relying on his damned fire quirk. Todoroki moved his hand away, revealing his scar with a hateful blue eye behind it. You see, I'm going to show him that I reject his power, and I can take first place without using it. Unbeknownst to them, Bakugo was around the corner, standing at stunned at their revelation, holding a soft gaze as he remains out of sight while Deku thinks. The life he's led is so different from mine. It sounds horrifying, terrifying. How strange that we could be aiming for the same thing despite such different childhood. Why are you telling me this, Todoroki? I wanted to understand why I'm aiming to the top, to defeat you. But I also wanted to know if there were others like me. Like you? Todoroki nods. I wanted to know if we shared the same background, from the same place, the same scars. He gets it now. He wants to know if he was also born under the same circumstances. Todoroki. Deku takes a deep breath. This has been a question he hadn't thought he ever had to ask, but the questions are the same to he asked about the omnitrix. Was it created to be a weapon or something more? I'm not in the same situation as you are, and I'll never know how it feels to be just to be used as a weapon. But there are some things in common we have. We both want to become heroes. We might have different reasons, but it's why we're here, for the most part of my life, until a year ago. I've been quirkless. This was a surprise to Todoroki. He thought he might be lying, but why would he be lying about that? Especially after he spilled his life story. Most of my life, I've been always wanted to be a hero, of course. Everyone told me that I couldn't, or I'm useless. I even told my hero... I even been told by my hero I couldn't become one without a quirk. But I was given a chance by a miracle, and there were those who fully supported me. Deku thinks back to all those who support him now. Max, Inko, Tetrax, Lucas, Driba, Patelade, Umuraka, Sue, Mina, Ida, everyone in Class A. There were a few bumps on the way, of course. Deku thinks back to the prime example of Vilgax, along with all the other attempts at getting the Omnitrix, albeit Anima as well, as anyone else who has came after him over this past year. Those experiences has helped me further in my dreams of becoming a hero. So will me winning the sports festival, Todoroki? Todoroki doesn't say anything as he just walks away, but stops and turns back for a moment. No matter what you throw at me, or how fiercely you come at me in the future, I will defeat you, using only my right side. I can assure you of that. Todoroki then fully leaves after that. After Todoroki leaves, they go to get something to eat for their lunch breaks. Once they were given... After that, they headed back outside, as they were given quite the surprise, as the Class 1A girls somehow got tricked by Mineta and Kaminari to wear cheerleader outfits made by Momo, who fell to her knees in defeat, being tricked by the two scumbags of 1A. However, that's not what important, as Midnight gives the participants a rundown on how the fights will go and will be chosen. However, before they could even get that done, they have to fill in the last spots of the brackets. But unfortunately, that's halted by Ojira, who's withdrawn, from the competition, shocking everyone. Not only him, but a Class 1B student as well. Both of them have the same reason, as they felt like they've been unworthy of being in the finals, when they didn't even remember how they got there. So, the Midnight attempted to withdraw, and now they have to fill up 3 spots. They were going to choose Kendo's team, but they refused, letting Team Tetsu Tetsu go in instead. Team Tetsu Tetsu had a talk. To talk, at Midnight shows the brackets. And it was Tetsu Tetsu, a girl with vine for hairs, and a guy with no lips. Which later they all learned their names were Ibarra and Juzo. As here's the fight in the rosters so far. Izuka Midoriya versus Hunter Zero. So, I'm going to fight. So, I'm the first to fight. It's against the general student guy. Deku looks towards the now named Shinzo, who looks back at him. A pleasure. You excited? Yeah. Suddenly, Deku's mouth was covered by Ojiro's tail, as he looks at Shinzo. And Shinzo just smirks and walks off. After that, Deku turns to him and asks what the big deal was, as Ojiro told him not to say a word towards that man. The next matchup was also Juzo Hanakuro versus Yuge Aoyama. Too bad you got me as your opponent. No, this is good. I can make my class proud and show that what 1B's made out of. Shoto Todoroki versus Momo Yaoyorozu. Momo gulps nervously as Todoroki has not changed in expression. Tenya Ida versus Mei Hatsume says Mei went up to Ida and asked if that was him. He looks towards her and told him that was correct, as she suggested something to him. Kirishima versus Tetsu Tetsu. Both were stunned that they were paired up together, finding this to be harder and harder to stand out. Mina Ashido versus Hunter Zero. Sorry, Zero, I know we were on the same team and all, but I'm gonna win. Yeah, we're going to see about that. Denki Kaminari versus Ibarra Shizaki. And last but not least, Katsuki Bakugo and Ochako Muraka. Ochako Muraka? Who the hell is that? Umuraka gives a questionable and shocked look to Bakugo. If he didn't actually know who she is, or if she was playing dumb to piss her off. Before the fights could actually begin, the contestants were given time to strategize and prepare themselves, as the others had to play games for a pastime. They were told to have fun. Most who are in the main fighting tournament couldn't relax. Some tried to come up with strategies, such as Deku, while Ojiro told him all he knew before the cavalry battle. Then there was those who prepared for the fight, like Ida, who chugs cans of juice to refuel his engines, or trying to hype themselves up like Bakugo and Todoroki, and others who still trying to focus on calming their nerves, like Momo and Umuraka, who's doing a cheer routine like the other girls, but still held worried expressions. Before they knew it, they were in the finals, were upon them. As we see some mentors done making the stadium, as everyone yells out in excitement. After all the action you've all been so witness, it's time for the real battle to begin. Can you feel the excitement? So Deku nervously caresses the omnitrix, while he waits in the dark tunnels alone, waiting to be called out into the arena, hoping the omnitrix helps him and gives him the transformation he needs here. Alright, audience, let's get to the good stuff and not prolong the finals any longer. Welcome our first fighters. Pictures of Deku and Shinzo shows up on the Jumbotron. As usual, Deku looks nervous and scared up there. Whew, he looks scared in that picture, doesn't he? Our first fighter is the multi-cook wonder Izuku Midoriya from the Hero Course versus Hunter of Hintoshi Shinzo from General Studies, who hasn't done anything to stand out yet. The rules are simple. Immobilize your opponent or toss forcefully out of the ring. You can win by making the other cry uncle, bringing in the injuries, because we got our very own recovery girl on standby. So put your morals aside and play dirty. Of course, none of that life-threatening crap, folks. We heroes use their powers to throw villains in jail, not kill them. Cementos, who had made a chair for himself out of cement, and sits and observes the fight, reassuring everyone that he'll stop anyone who gets too rough. As exercising relief as he got onto the stadium. As he hears Shinzo speaks up to him. So, you can give up? I'm aware it's a test on how strong your spirit is. If you know what you want to hold on to, if you want to know what your future holds for you, you can't worry about others think. Ready? That monkey was going on about his pride earlier. Begin! But I just think he's an idiot for throwing away his chance like that. Deku was taking a step back out of shock. But soon, that shock turned into anger, as he forgot about using the omnitrix and just rushed at him with a blind rage. Don't you talk to him about that way! Shinzo smirks as Deku stops, with a blank expression. That's it. I win. Everyone wondering what's going on, as Arjuro is yelling about how he warned him about Shinzo, as Max and some of the other teachers wondering what happened. Hey, guys, what's the big deal, yo? It's the first match, and it should start off with a bang. The fight had just begun, and Izuku Midoriya is completely frozen. He's not moving a muscle. What's with that look on his face? Could this be a quirk? It seems as Hitoshi Shinzo had completely stunned him. This is a perfect example of why the entrance exam isn't so reliable. As Zara looks, and Mike looks at Azara. What is that? Since we're on the individual matches, I had files pull up on the contestants. Shinzo had failed a practical to get into the hero course since he also put in for general studies. He figured that would happen. His quirk is incredibly strong, but it compares to fighting faux villains. Robots can give a huge advantage to physical superpowers. As Zara looked at Shinzo, remembering time when he was also in the same boat as him, but he had someone back then to give him where he's at now. Despite his abilities, Shinzo never stood a chance. So, here we are. You're lucky you were blessed with such a set of quirks, Izuku Midoriya. One of those abilities alone would have done it, but you seem to hold a whole lot of them, from what I gathered. Now turn around and walk out of bounds, like a good little hero. With the command given, Deku does such and starts to walk out, step by step. Huh? What? Midoriya is obeying him! Everyone in Class 1A is worried about him, on what he's doing. If he walks out, he'll lose his chance. Elsewhere at Bauman's store, however, God, what are you doing? Get back there and fight! Bauman yells out in frustration of his stupidity. Yeah, I put a lot of money on riding on you, Arjun yells out, as Bauman turns to Arjun annoyed as he slumps back down at the old man's gaze. Back with the fighting, however, said Deku thinks as his vision is blurry. He can't hear no one, only hear the voice of Shinzo. What's going on? What is... My body is moving on its own. I feel like my brain is full of fog. I can't concentrate. No, not like this. Gotta stop. He continues on, being unable to stop. I fell for it even after Ujira's warning. I had a plan to use Wild Mud. I figured his quirk was some sort of response-based power, but I let my rage get to me. I'm such an idiot. I can't stop it. I'm gonna lose, even after so many people rooting for me. Everyone is watching me. The universe is watching me. Even with a quirk like those, I have my own dream to become a great hero. Shinzo watches as he gets closer to being out of bounds. So lose from me. All of a sudden, as Deku was about to take the last step out of bounds, he retracted his foot before he stepped out. This shocked Shinzo for a moment till he yells out, "Didn't you hear me? I said walk out." Deku doesn't move. What's this? Was Izuku Midoriya snapped out of it? What's going on? Deku's vision is warped. The world around him as it all warps and changes around. Within the tunnel, there's a purple eye there. A ghostly silhouette formed in front of him. As the silhouette shows it flies towards him. On the outside of things, he was just standing there as Shinzo was wondering what's going on, along with everyone else. But Deku starts to move as he lifts up his left arm, as the right one opens up the omnitrix with still a blank expression on his face. He twists and turns down and presses down on it. As a flash of light emits off him. Everyone covers their eyes as the light dies down. To their shock, there was a ghostly figure there, but along with a taking of a deep breath. What's this? Midoriya had just transformed into his spectral form. That's Ghost Freak. Everyone cheers as some of his friends sighs in relief, as Azara's eyes widen, not suspecting this at all. So Shinzo looks totally shocked as well, as Ghost Freak floats there in shock as well. How did I get out of Shinzo's mind control, he thought. What was the vision he saw of Ghost Freak? No, impossible! You're not supposed to be able to fight back. What did you do? Ghost Freak gasps as he covers his mouth, but soon realizes he doesn't feel the effects of Shinzo's quirk.
Hey, I'm still in control.
No, no. How did you do that? What are you doing? Sir, my quirk should be hypnotizing you.
It seems my transformation here is immune to your quirk.
Good, so what? You're mocking me now? Just because you were blessed with such a great quirk, while I'm here being ridiculed, being called a villain? Just for what my quirk is like?
That's not true. Yeah, I've been blessed, but I've been blessed by others who stands by me, supported me, even though when I was quirkless.
Shinzo's eyes widen in shock, but soon goes back to anger. Stop lying! There's no way someone like you could have been quirkless with powers like this. So, this is the second time Deku today revealed his past to someone else he hardly ever even knows. But he has to tell Shinzo this to help him.
Yes, it's hard to believe, but I was, until a year ago. My quirk awakened shortly after. Ever since then, I've been working to make this my own powers. But through my own hardships and ridicule just like you.
Shinzo is taken aback by this.
So if anyone knows what it's like to be an outcast, it's me.
Shinzo just looks at him with wide eyes. He can tell he isn't lying for him to make someone else who... So to meet yet another fellow outcast to have so many amazing quirks is crazy. But he didn't know, and like many others, still that doesn't know, is he's still quirkless. It's only because of the omnitrix that gives him a chance to be a hero. To have so many quirks.
So that's why I'm sorry for the next part.
Ghost Freak immediately turns intangible and flies at Shinzo. He's taken aback by this as Ghost Freak merges with him, making his eyes turn purple with cracks surrounding him. His eyes. Soon as he does this, Shinzo starts to walk out of the ring. What's this? It seems Ghost Freak has possessed Shinzo and forcing him to walk out of the ring, just like he did. Shinzo tries to fight this, even gaining some leverage over this, due to Ghost Freak's hesitation about all of this, even being like him as one. But he goes on, so, even getting Shinzo out of the ring as he flies out of his body. As Midnight declares Shinzo out of bounds and Midoriya the winner. As everyone cheers, Shinzo is thinking back to his days at Nabu school. There was few kids who talk about how cool his quirk was, even saying how he could make anyone do whatever he says and they wouldn't know it was him. The three joked, of course, but it still hurts to hear. As everyone always says that he's used to being seen as a villain, but he's not a bad guy, of course. And with that turn of events, we have our first victim of the finals. Our very own Izuku Midoriya moves on. If in the stands, Rumarker collapsed in his seat, exhausted, hailing the breath she was holding. As this had wrecked her nerves. As some even cheered on about his powers. Shinzo's powers is amazing. I thought he would have beaten Midoriya, but he's just got lucky. He's still mad at Monoma that he got you eliminated in the cavalry battle? No, because this is perfect. Now Juzo can swoop the rug underneath that guy and beat him, showing 1B is far superior. Yeah, let's not get that far. He might be able to possess me with that freaky ghost guy. Monoma just grins at this, with a still present grin on his face. Hey, get it right, you guys. His name is Ghost Freak, not a freaky ghost guy. Ghost Freak. Sounds spooky. Says, and dark. Such as many things in this world. Some of 1A and B looks down to the two resident edgelords, Tokoyami and Karakuri. So, man, seems like we both our classes have edgelords in them. Not to mention how Kirishima and Tetsu's quirk are practically the same. Both stood there in protest, yelling at in unison, "No, it's not." As we cut back down to the arena. Oh yeah, that was actually a kind of a boring fight but both of our fighters fought bravely. Let's show them some love. Everyone starts to cheer as Ghost Freak just floats there in front of Shinzo as he thinks back to his words.
Shinzo, why do you wish to be a hero?
Shinzo looks up at him for a moment and thinks. You can't help the things your heart longs for. It doesn't matter now. There's no way I'll be able to now, but I'm not mad. Shinzo looks up at Ghost Freak, with a smile, because I know there's someone who's just like me in a hero course. Too bad this is probably the last time we're gonna meet. Shinzo turns away from Ghost Freak as he thinks. He's just like me before I inherited the omnitrix.
Shinzo!
So Shinzo stops and turns to Ghost Freak.
Listen carefully what everyone is saying up in the stands.
Shinzo looks up till he looks up to see his classmates. You are amazing out there, Shinzo. We're proud of you. You didn't tell us you were so good. You're the star of our program. I can't believe you put on such a great fight against the one who got first place in the entrance exam. Other people out in the stands were starting to talk out there too. Some were thinking how useful his quirk could be for capturing villains and how they wish they would have it. Some even ridiculed how UA could be so stupid to not let this kid in the hero course. And how there's several who never got into the hero course because of how the entrance exam is.
You hear that? They think you're incredible. No, you are incredible.
Shinzo stands there in disbelief till he spoke up once again. Depending on the results, they might transfer people into a hero course. Remember that. Even if it doesn't work out this time, I'm not giving up. I'll get into the hero track and get certified. And then I'll become a better pro than any of you.
And I can't wait to see that day, Shinzo.
You know, usually people tense up whenever they talk to me. If you are on your guard, someone's going to beat you. So be careful. Better not lose and make me look bad.
I won't.
They both soon exited the ring, letting the other matches go on. As we cut to the next few matches, as Deku watches Juzo vs. Aoyama. The fight was simple. Aoyama tried to hit Juzo with his laser, but Juzo made the ground soft with his quirk. diving into the ground. Basically, as Ariyama was dragged into the underneath and was unable to battle. After a few more minutes of resetting the stage after that match, it was Todoroki versus Momo. As Todoroki made his way to the arena, he was stopped by Endeavor as he kept moving forward. It's time to stop this rebellion of yours. You have a duty to surpass all might. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're different from your siblings. You're my greatest masterpiece. Is that all you wanted to say to me, you bastard? I'll win this match. And next one using my mom's quirk. Even if that works out for you in this tournament, you'll soon find the limitations of that power. So, Todoroki walks forward, leaving his father behind. So, bottling up his emotions at the moment as he heads out. As they do, Mike introduces both opponents. Momo as the great creator, and who was recommended to UA. As she just stands there, thinking of strategies for Todoroki, nothing solid. And he was also introduced, also being recommended, and being too strong for his own good. As the match was called by midnight. Momo making a riot shield and gets ready to make his staff as she runs at Todoroki. Her best bet was to get close the difference between the two. Todoroki is a far to mid-range fighter, but up close he has nothing. But she senses something wrong as Todoroki gazes up at her and apologizes. As Ice rushes forward from his feet, rushing towards Momo, before exploding into a powerful earthquake, erupting of frozen water that rises up well above the entire stadium. It felt like the earth had shaken. And as its attack nearly hits the audience behind Momo, it nearly hit the commentator's booth with Mike and Aizawa. Heroes around the stadium also looks up till they saw the ice piercing the heavens themselves. Within the stadium, Todoroki's entire right side is laid with a thin sheet of ice. As he exhales small and seeable breath. The attack held all his fury and rage bottled within him. As for Momo, she was shaken, having tears in her eyes, thankful she had leapt out of the way before the ice could grab her. She felt the hatred behind the attack, and not wanting to set him off, she called out, I give up. In a meek and shaken voice, she had forfeited. At Todoroki's power and rage, from fear at Todoroki's power and rage. Midnight, who is half frozen, raises up her arm. Momo Yarosa has forfeited. Shoto Todoroki is the winner. Everyone was shocked and amazed at the power Todoroki had displayed, as Todoroki released yet another cold air. Sorry about that. I was angry. Up in the stadium, Deku looks at Todoroki. He assumes something is eating away at him, as he uses heat to melt the ice. Elsewhere, on a planet far, far away, a single gray matter was working on a project until a door opened up. Comes in yet another Galvin. Azimuth. Says Azimuth So the now named Gavin looks towards his assistant. What is it, Albedo? Why is the omnitrix in the hands of a human teenager? Is that what this intrusion is all about? Asmund turns away and continues his work as he explains to his assistant the situation. The omnitrix is in safe hands of the human child known as Izuka Midoriya. He's defended it against Vilgax with it, and so I believe he is in the right hands for the time being. But what about his intended user, Max Midoriya? He should have received that when what you told me. I did, but things got complicated. So, but I've been reassured that it is in the right hands by him. So that's absurd. The Omnitrix could not be in the hands of a human teenager. Are you questioning the smartest being in 3, possibly 5 galaxies? Yes, I won't let our work be in the hands of an inferior life form. Enough. Albedo, my decision is final. I won't discuss this with you any longer. Now, be gone. Asmus shoos him away as he continues to work. Albedo, enraged, storms off and conducts a plan to get the Omnitrix to a more worthy wielder. Perhaps even himself, if need be. As we cut back to the sports festival, Mei Hatsume just had ended not too long ago, as she had stepped out after showing off all her inventions, thanks to the help of Ida, giving him the win. After that one, it was Tetsu versus Kirishima, and safe to say, neither was gaining any leverage against each other, as they both collapse as the clock times out. After that, it was Mina Ashida versus Hunter Sero. The two fight was way more interesting. Sero trying to swing Mina out of bounds, but she melted the tape off her and got in close, spraying acid all over around Sero, who kept stepping back to avoid the attacks, only to step out of bounds. Later, Ibarra versus Kaminari. As Kaminari tried to shock Ibarra with all he got, only for her to block with her vines and then tie him, throw out the brain-fried Kaminari. But before the next fight could happen, Deku went off to offer Umuraka some help against Bakugo, even forming a plan with her powers in mind. However, she refused, reassuring him and tells him that she can't rely on him too much. She felt bad doing so, and that being said, she gives him a shaky yet confident smile, telling him that she'll meet him at the finals. However, it wouldn't go down very well, as we all know, as she enacted her plan to flip Bakugo out of the ring using debris that he blew up. However, he let off a massive explosion that not only knocked her away, but the debris. She shortly faints after, having exhausted all else. Deku had went off to the waiting room to wait for his own match. However, he encountered Bakugo, who accused Deku of that strategy Umuraka had made. However, he dismissed it and told her it was his own plan. For now, he's entered Umuraka's room. Of thinking he will see a sight of a defeated Umuraka. He was not looking forward to that. However, when he entered, she was not bummed, but she was fine, apart from the few bandages on her cheek, of course. telling him she's fine and that she'll be rooting for him and Ida. He nods as he exits out of the room, going to his next fight. Hearing a phone go off in the waiting room and hearing Umuraka say dad. It must be her father telling her she did great, as he goes off to the next fight. Now we cut to Deku being introduced by President Mike once again. And on the other side it was Juzo, the mud maker himself. Both boys stand at opposite sides of the ring as midnight is said to begin. We need to get a drink before. Immediately after, Deku goes for the watch, but as he does this, he starts to sink into the ground he was standing on, by Juzo's quirk. Just like your friend in 1A, I'll beat you the same way. Deku quickly goes for the watch as he sinks in, as selecting Big Shill as he slams down, but instead of Big Shill, he got an Heat Blast.
Oh man, seriously? Well, I'll have to make this work.
So, Heat Blast starts to unleash heat into the ground. The mud started to bubble up, says as he sinks down completely into the ground. Juzo thinks he has just won as he waits, but as he sees, the ground starts to bubble more and more until a large explosion of heat was outputted, sending the mud all over and pushing Juzo away in a wave of mud. As the smoke clears, there's a crater in the platform as Heat Blast stands there with his arms on his hips, proud of how he handled that.
Oh yeah, now that's what I'm talking about.
Him. Heat Blast turns to the person who calls him as his eyes widen, as he sees Midnight covered in the mud like concrete that Heat Blast had shot out everywhere.
Sorry, Miss Midnight.
Midnight just gives an annoyed expression as she declares Heat Blast the winner. Soon they had to take a short break to repair the damage on the stage and get Midnight cleaned off of the mud. As this was going on, Todoroki and Ida had left to their waiting rooms as Heat Blast returned to the class booths. But as he sits there, everyone in class moves away from the burning charcoal man as he burns the seat. Midori, shouldn't you wait elsewhere until the UD transform? Yeah, maybe away from us.
Sorry, but I'm too hot for all of you.
Says, I don't know, I think it is cool. We have a walking campfire around. Yeah, especially with Sato having marshmallows around. Some of Class 1A and even B had taken this opportunity to use Heat Blast to make s'mores. Honestly, you all shouldn't be using his heat like this. This is disrespectful.
Hey, can I have one of those?
Sure. Momo gasps as Heat Blast takes a marshmallow and eats it, having the marshmallow cook in his mouth as he eats it. As Kendo remarks, says, advantages of being a walking campfire, I guess. Some of Class 1A and B laughs, as they are starting to get along with each other. After the minutes goes by, it was Todoroki versus Ida. the match begins as Ida intends to run and grab Todoroki, but not being counting for his accuracy, he was frozen by Todoroki and his legs stalled, as the rest of his body was frozen, giving Todoroki the win. The next match was Mina vs. Kirishima. Kirishima had advanced after arm wrestling Tetsu and getting the win. As sorry. As the match had begun, Mina had planned to spray acid at Kirishima, and probably push him out of the ring. But Kirishima powered through her acid, grabbing her and throwing her out the ring, getting him the win. Last but not least was Bakugo vs. Ibarra. This match began with Ibarra clapping her hands together as vines digged into the ground, bursting out only to trap Bakugo in a cocoon. Everyone thinks Ibarra had made a repeat of her last match, but Deku didn't need to know what happened as he went off. He already knew Bakugo would already win, Bakugo releasing a massive explosion within the cocoon. The explosion shocked the stadium, the smoke covering the arena grounds. Soon, everyone sees Ibarra unconscious and on the ground out of the ring. As Mike yells out that the semifinals will begin soon, shortly. Thus, as they're gonna let their competitors have a moments of rest. Soon after, the group headed to Deku's waiting room. Sorry, Ida, for your loss. It's fine. I know I tried my best, and I'm glad I got this far. That's the spirit. But now let's see if Midoriya has came up with a plan or not. Oh, I'm sure he has. Just watch out. Umaraka opens the door, but to the trio's shock, they see gray matter on the table with crumbled up papers on the ground. As he writing in his notebook, adding more to the endless piles of paper. Midoriya? Gray matter looks up. Huh? Oh, hi guys. I'm sorry, I'm trying to form every calculation I can strategize with every scenario. Ida picks up one of the papers and unfolds it. If turned into forearms, try to get in close and toss him out of the ring. Is that who you're going to be? Forearms? No, it's just in case if I do somehow mistransform. Sounds reasonable. As expected, Midoriya. Thanks. Several beeps later, as Greyman jumps off the table as he transforms back into his humanoid form. I'll have to hope all this planning making wasn't a waste. Well, I'm sure you'll be great. We'll be rooting for you. Right, thank you all. So, Deku walks out of the room along with everyone else, as they leave in opposite directions. As Deku walks towards the arena, he was cut off by the flaming hero Endeavor. Endeavor? Ah, I was looking for you, Midoriya. Oh yeah? Deku quivers under Endeavor's gaze. So what do you want? I watched your fight against that brainwashed kid in the mud, boy. Your power is pretty impressive, like nothing I've ever seen before. To be able to transform like that and give yourself such an incredible abilities. It seems impossible. I was wondering what kind of measurements it took for someone like you to be born. Deku thinks to himself, does he think I'm like Todoroki? That I'm a form of quirk master like he did? Oh, well, I never gave it that much thought. You know, it was just a mutation, I guess. Endeavor's eyebrows narrows and frustration at Deku. He could be lying or telling the truth. There's no strong evidence of either, though. But I'm sorry, I got to go, you understand, right? Deku walked past Endeavor, uneasy around the flaming hero, especially after what Todoroki told him. It's my Shoto's duty to surpass All Might as the #1 hero. Those words make Deku stop in his track, not only because of Endeavor admitting of why he had Todoroki, but he would blatantly tell him of all people about this. And his match with you will be a good testing ground for him. How much training he has left. So hit him hard with those flames of yours. That's all I want to say. I apologize for bothering you. Endeavor starts to walk away from Deku after what he said. Endeavor stops for a moment to hear what he has to say. He may be your son, but he isn't you. Excuse me? Sorry, I guess I wasn't clear. What I mean is that Todoroki isn't a selfish pile of shit. That's out of satisfaction of his own personal ego. You're a second vile man with no sense of justice. You only destroy all that you touch. And for what? Fame? Money? Glory? Honestly, sickening to think of someone like you can even pass as a hero. You're no hero, Endeavor. You never will, as long as you act like this. Endeavor scowls, annoyed and pissed at the brat who dared to tell him he's not a hero. He would have burned him right here, right now, but it wouldn't look good to do so, especially now, a UA student who's everyone's eyeing on and rooting for now. As Deku walks away from the burning hero, as Endeavor storms away, pissed and can't wait to see Shoto to beat this brat. Elsewhere in the tunnel, Deku was having a nervous breakdown. Oh, why did I say that? Enter the number here too? Hero 2? Deku takes a deep breath and exhales. I can't worry about that now. I got to think about my fight with Todoroki here. Man, I'm probably going to do something stupid. It might cost me the sports festival, though. Says, as he said this, he can hear Mike. Says, as he getting everyone ready for the first match of the semifinals. Deku sighs and walks out of the field as he sees Todoroki as well heading towards the center. Mike introduced both of them once again as elsewhere, Inko Midori, who's sobbing over how far her son has gotten in the sports festival. My baby, I'm so proud of you. Elsewhere in Battleman's store, his customers, along with himself, is getting excited. As we cut back to the sports festival, everyone is wondering who Deku's going to transform into. Cannonbolt? Diamond Head? Maybe Heat Blast or something else they haven't seen before. As midnight declares, as Deku goes for the watch as he sees Todoroki not moving. This confuses him and everyone else. Todoroki, did you not hear midnight? She said begin. I heard, but I'm waiting for Midori to transform. Huh? Why? Because I want there to be no doubt when I beat you. Todoroki's gazes at Deku harshly, waiting for him to transform. So go on. Transform. You only get one chance, so make it count. Deku gulps as he reaches for the omnitrix, popping up the dial. His plan is to go for either Heat Blast or Big Chill. Seems that can counter Todoroki's Ice and Fire the best. As he gets to one of the two, he slams down on the watch. after after disappearing in a flash of light, he only emerged as something else. What's this? It appears that Midoriya has transformed into, well, I'm not really sure what he transformed into. Huh? What is he talking about? Deku thought confusedly. He looks down at his hands as it covers in metal. So is the rest of him, from head to toe, with the omnitrix on his chest along with 3 slits on the helmet. Huh? Says, really? Now all times the omnitrix gave me a new alien? Sir, you've chosen this? Very well, I'll make this quick. Huh? Wait, no. I didn't mean to choose this one. I don't even know what he can do. That's not my problem anymore. Todoroki releases a massive wave of ice as everyone watches the Tin Man over the Tin Man. Almost like Momo there with a massive glacier, except not as big as before. The smoke covers the arena as Todoroki exhales cold. Has Todoroki done it again? Has he won by freezing Midoriya over? Todoroki turns around and begins to walk away. You have helped me prove I didn't need my old man's quirk, so I thank you, Midoriya. As he walks away, he hears cracking in the ice. He turns around as in shock, the ice crumbles. As he looks, as the smoke completely clears, Deku has his arms extended out in front of him. For a moment, he stood there like set there, probably having his eyes closed within the suit. But eventually, curiosity got him as he opens up his eyes, and to see he's not frozen, but his hands are glowing red with heat. I'm producing heat? Well, this can be useful. Todoroki scowls. I shouldn't be surprised. Your quirk has a tendency to give you a new transformation for the occasional moments like this. Hey, what can I say? I'm full of surprises. Now, let's get this going. Deku starts to charge at Todoroki, having heavy metal clash against the concrete. As Todoroki unleashes another wave of ice, clashing against Deku's armor, trying to push him back. But Deku uses his new alien's power to melt the ice as he continues forward. As he thinks, there has to be something more than producing heat and an arm being heavy. As Todoroki grits his teeth as he shoots more ice, but this time the ice wave makes it more focused as he hit the massive armor. But it does only to shatter. But in doing so, Deku reels back a bit as a surprise. The process blow from the ice manipulator. The 3 slits in the armor glows red with energy as he released the beam right at Todoroki. But fortunately, it missed the dual team only by a few inches. Both looked in shock at what Deku's new transformation just did. But soon Deku would be smirking underneath the armor. Oh, you're in trouble now, Todoroki. I got it. Got what? Azara looks towards his co-host. Says, tired. Midoriya's new transformation name. Mike turns the mic on and yells out, Hey Midoriya, how does NRG sound? NRG? Oh, I get it. Like how accelerate is spelled differently. Well, Mike, Energy is GOOD. The newly declared energy fires more energy at Todoroki, which Todoroki had to use his eyes to block. Now being on the defensive from the onslaught of lasers. But as Todoroki is doing this, he's getting covered in ice, slowing his movements as it becomes harder and harder, almost becoming as slow as energy is. He can't really attack him as the heat would just melt his ice. All he can do is just make ice walls and think of some way. But as he's playing defense, a metal hand fist hits him with the ice wall shattering, being weaker than before. But he didn't get out of the ring yet, as he slowly gets up as energy stomps over to him. You seem cold, Todoroki. Maybe you should warm up. Todoroki scowls up at energy, at his blatant disregard of his vow, not only to not use his accursed fire, as flashes of past is being seen. No, I refuse to use my left side. Todoroki declares as energy clenches his fist tightly in frustration. He grabs Todoroki and lifts him up off the ground. Says Todoroki lift his arm onto energy. However, and tries to freeze him, but he produced too much heat for him to get a hold on to him, as he had to let go. As energy brings him face to him the best he could. Listen to me now, Todoroki. It's not his quirk, it's yours. You decide how you use it. And if you truly want to be a hero, then you can't limit yourself like this. If you can't see that, then you don't deserve to be a hero. With that being said, he tossed Todoroki out of the ring. As Todoroki is flying out of the ring, he has flashes to happier moments in his life. Him watching TV with his mother while All Might was on it. Telling children around the world that it doesn't matter it doesn't matter that kids inherit their parents' quirk, as they are not them. They are their own person, and they decide how they will use it. As his mother called out to him, he looks up and asks if he still wants to be a hero. Just remember to stay true to himself, as Todoroki nods and smiles up to his mother. The flashback ends as Todoroki lays on the ground in the middle of the arena. The crowd cheers as he just stares up in the sky, not minding them a bit. He forgot about that memory somehow, as he felt warmth coming off him, which is odd because he should still feel the negative effects of his left side. However, he got off the ground and sees fire coming off his left arm, warming him up. Its shadow overcasts him as he thought it was warm, as he looks up to see energy over him for a moment. He does nothing but bends down towards him, extending a hand to the downed teen. So, Todoroki, what do you want to be? Todoroki looks up at the hand and for a moment before taking it, getting help up by energy as he spoke. I want to be a hero. And with that, folks, Izuku Midoriya will move on to the finals. Now, we see who will be from the second semifinals will win. Will it be Kirishima or Bakugo? This segment is getting to me. Everyone cheers as the two competitors leave, as Todoroki walks out to spot a flaming hero down in the tunnel. Not gonna tell me to get lost. You finally used your fire despite the fact it was after you lost. But despite your loss, I'm glad you finally see reason. Now that you have abandoned your childish rebellion, we can get what's important. After graduation, you'll work by my side, and I'll lead you to the path of mighty Shoto. I haven't abandoned anything. Huh? Todoroki doesn't look towards the number 2 hero as he only sits at his left side. You are a fool to think my feelings could be so easily reversed. Instead, out there, for the moment I forgot about you. Whether that's a good or bad, this is whatever it is, it's the right thing to do. Sis, I don't need you. Todoroki left Endeavor in the hallway to go to Recovery Girl. Endeavor was shocked to hear his own son forgetting about him, as we do a small time skip after the fight between Bakugo and Kirishima. It was short and not too long, as Deku was waiting in the waiting room for the next fight. He's honestly a bit nervous. Will the omnitrix give him the alien he wants to face against Bakugo, or will it just mistransform him? Or will it give him a new transformation like Todoroki? Not much time he can think about it, as he left towards the arena. But as he was about to, Bakugo comes into the waiting room, surprised to see he's inside. What the hell are you doing in my waiting room? Bakugo looks back at the sign and sees Ron. Crap! This is waiting room 2? Fine, I might have walked into the wrong room, but that doesn't mean I won't come on top. Be on top of my game when I beat the shit out of you, Deku. Bakugo slams his hand on the table in front of Deku, letting off a small explosion. So you better bring it all you got. I'm show everyone that I'm the one who's gonna beat you. With that, Bakugo leaves to the arena. Leaving Deku, wondering to himself, why did he just say that instead of his usual threats and insults? Is it possible that Bakugo is afraid of him? That he might lose to him? This question will remain with him as he leaves. After a few minutes, Mike gets everyone pumped as around the world everyone watches. Billboards showing pictures of Bakugo and Deku up on there, as everyone watches with bated breath, as there is no time limit, only who's left standing. So at midnight declared to begin, but neither team moves for a moment. Bakugo just stands there with a scowl as Deku was still there to see what Bakugo would do. To find him if he'll only move, but he's surprised even more. Hey, what's the big idea? You're supposed to be fighting, not standing around. Neither of them move or say anything until Bakugo broke the silence. Well, nerd, what are you waiting for? Transform already. Deku looks at him confused. First Todoroki, now Bakugo is letting him transform? Don't get any wrong ideas. To beat you at your best is to pick whatever shitty transformation you have to fight against me. Deku now understands what's going on. He just wants to fight him with no arguments that he could beat him or not. Deku nods as he opens up the omnitrix, dialing through the aliens he has. After A few comes into mind, but last time Big Shield will be good against him. He slams down on the omnitrix, but instead of the blue moth, he turned into some kind of ogre with bat ears where his eyes should be. As his upper body is covered in eyes. Deku is a bit disoriented by the 360 vision he has now. So, whoa, this is a bit odd. The fuck is this, Deku? All the eyes on Deku's bodies turn to Bakugo, who's fuming at this point. Were you hiding all these guys all these times or something? No, I've never seen this eye guy before. Huh? Hey, eye guy. I think I came up with his name at least. Bakugo just stands there, shaking in frustration at him. Not only he has multiple transformations that giving him different abilities, but he should be unlocking them more and more at this spot. First with Icy Heart, now with him. Bakugo aims his hands behind him as he blasts off towards the Deku, now known as Eye Guy. Deku, you bastard! Eye Guy looks towards Bakugo, who's speeding toward him. He quickly reacts as he jumps over him, the Mad Bomber, as he swings a right hook at him. But Eye Guy landed behind Bakugo. Whoa, Eye Guy is super agile. Once again, explosions were heard as Eye Guy can see Bakugo coming from behind, with 3 eyes on his shoulder. Panicking, Eye Guy did something no one was expecting, not even himself, as green electricity shoots out of the Mad Bomber from the eyes. Luckily for Bakugo, he just redirected himself out of the way, blasting off as Eye Guy's attack nearly hit him. As Eye Guy gets out of his shock, he grins. Oh, did I catch you off guard? Don't worry, I wasn't expecting it either. Somewhere within the stadiums of 1A, Sue was sighing almost like she could hear the eye-related puns. As Bakugo growls annoying, seeing this new transformation isn't totally useless, as all the eyes were aimed at him as energy beams were fired towards the team. Bakugo blasts away in towards the ogre that's caused of his anger at the moment. But as more and more energy beams were fired at Bakugo, some were electricity as well. One good hit Bakugo's left arm, but instead of it burning, it froze as it covered with ice. What? Ice beam? Man, Eye Guy really has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, don't I? Bakugo grows as he explodes the ice off his arm, charging once again with explosions to get him a boost at Eye Guy. Had all his eyes aimed towards him at the blonde, but he get a chance to fire as Bakugo had let loose a new attack called Stun Grenade. A bright flash of light seemed to blind all of Eye Guy's eyes and around everyone else too. My eyes! As Eye Guy recovers from the bright lights, he can hear explosions all around him, but none of them are hitting him. He wondered what is Bakugo doing till he finally recovers his vision. All of his eyes widen in shock as he sees Bakugo spinning in the air, smoke surrounding him, letting more and more explosions rain out as he's clearly pissed. Howitzer? Ooh, I should have seen this coming. Impact! Smoke enveloped the field as everyone wonders what happened as Bakugo attack hits both him. says everyone wonders, did Bakugo just win or not? As the smoke clears, everyone sees the down form of Deku being held up by Bakugo's collar. By Bakugo, who's pissed. Deku, you bastard! I'm not done with you. I told you to bring out your strongest, but you held out on me and transformed into some weird-eyed guy. To win the sports festival like that? No way in hell! A purple mist come over the two teens as Bakugo breathes in the gas, soon letting Deku go, who's already unconscious as he both fell asleep. Midnight declares Deku unable to battle, meaning Bakugo wins. Everyone cheers. After a few minutes, Bakugo and Deku had gotten medical attention, which Bakugo had to be restrained from blowing up the other teen. As we cut to the ceremony, fireworks and color smoke is being blasted out. As the first year's sports festival for the sports festival winners. As the four contestants are on the podium behind Midnight, with Bakugo, who's chained and muzzled, on the tallest podium, while Deku stands there in the second place spot. He's happy he got this far at least. And he knows that Bakugo is at least somewhat intimidated by him, so this does give him a better understanding of his place now. As for the third and fourth place, both had to be shared by Todoroki and Kirishima. As Midnight yells to bring in the medals, and don't be presented only by one man who's worthy. The number one hero, All Might, who lands before everyone. The audience cheers as All Might first goes to Todoroki and Kirishima, congratulating the two boys as they did splendid work today, but there is still room for them both to grow. All Might wanted to say more to Todoroki particularly, but with Kirishima so close and with such a private matter for the teen, he just hopes he can sort of it out for himself. However, as the next podium he goes to, the young man, he worried wrong so many months ago, as Deku tensed up around the symbol piece. Young Midoriya, I'd like to apologize for what I said. I failed you to see the potential in you, and now I'm your teacher and I have an obligation to give you my full support, and I hope you can forgive me for that day. Deku's eyes widen, so he does remember. Why hasn't he confronted him yet? And why is he saying this now? Is this because he has the omnitrix? A quirk? He still doesn't have a quirk, so would he apologize then? Or would he just forget about him? Young Midoriya? All Might says, snapping Deku out of it. He thinks about it for a moment. Well, yes, he did do him wrong. And he didn't mean to, I suppose. He just tried to protect him. But his words still hurt him. So he made up his mind whether to forgive him or not. I don't hate you, All Might. But I can't forgive you. Not yet, at least. I see. Well, young Midoriya. Hopefully I can find a way to make things better between us. But for now, keep working hard. Deku nods as some semblance of closure came to him. It wasn't what he suspected, but it still helped a little. So, after rationalizing it a little. Still, he can't forgive All Might, as he goes off to Bakugo to give Bakugo his first place medal. Like in before, Bakugo didn't want the damn medal as he All Might tried to give him the medal. However, he kept trying to refuse it, saying he didn't earn it. But that didn't matter, as All Might just had to put the medal into his mouth. As he told everyone that they did a great job. And with that, the sports festival had ended. The crowds began to leave as the top 4 leaves, as they were swarmed by their classmates. Jackie, you won 2nd place of the sports festival! Congratulations, Midoriya. Yeah, and the new guys were super cool and weird looking. Thanks. I think Eye Guy was pretty cool too, and so was Energy. Eye Guy? Was that really the best you could do? What? I think he'll be iconic someday. Please stop with the eye puns. Everyone just laughs as Deku realized that Ida isn't around. Hey, where's Ida? Oh, well, he had some happen, so he had to go. Oh, I see. I was hoping he is alright. I'm sure he is. So. As everyone's congratulating the teens, Bakugo comes storming in through the tunnel as he tosses his 1st place medal into the trash can and walks away. Kaminari and Sarah just look at each other and ab down at the medal for a moment, before both yelling dibs and jumping at it. Will you two knock it off? It's just a stupid medal. Yeah, a medal that says you got 1st place at the sports festival, so Mama wants a medal. Mina soon jumps into the fight for the 1st place medal, trying to get it for herself. As Mineta tries to get in, and maybe to grab, or even accidentally grab Mina's rump and or bust, but soon was grabbed by Sue's turn to hold him back. As he squirms to get out as Mina gasps, "Hey, who grabbed my ass?" Both boys immediately held their hands up as Mina got up herself, grinning, holding the medal. Spoils goes to the victor. Hey, that's cheating. No, I should use my advantage. The boys grimaces as they yell at Mina that it's not fair, as she's just smug. Deku, on the other hand, just smiles on, as he's just happy to see his friends what great friends he has. End of this part. I hope you guys all enjoy the redo. Of course, I shortened it. And yeah, Cyber out. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Peace.